everyone. Welcome to the Crystal Clear Show. I'm your host, Crystal, and it's my passion to help professionals 30 and over to get unstuck from their corporate 9 to 5 jobs and launch and grow a successful six-figure business with my Crystal Clear blueprint. Today's guest on our episode 28, Unveiling the Multifaceted Journey, insights from a corporate leader, financial planner, sales director, and content director with Makesa Chan. Hi, Mikki. How
Yay!
are you doing today?
Hi, Christelle. Nice to meet you again, but this time online. I'm great. I'm great.
Yes, Mikki is a corporate leader from various industries, from pharma, telecom, real estate, and the insurance business. She led a team of financial planners for 7 years, used to be a sales director of a real estate company, and a content director in Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yay.
And she is a mother and a lifelong learner. Wow, super, parang napakadami naman ng, parang napakabata mo pa, but yet you have undergone all this, mga stages na ng buhay mo, Mikki. I really want to learn so many things from you.
Yeah.
Excited na ako sa interview natin.
Bring it on.
Yay! So ngayon, I always ask this $1 million question. If you are a superhero, who would it be and why? Because most of the time, we tend to admire other people. And tayo, we always look down on our abilities. Pero other people are also admiring us and they say, oh, sana ako rin.
Alam mo, totoo yan.
Sana all, di ba?
Totoo yan.
But all deep inside, we say, huh? Ayun yung tingin mo sa akin? Is that true? But who are you and what do you think people say about you if you are a superhero?
Okay. If superhero ako, alam mo, Crystal, I watch superhero movies like I watch DC, I watch Marvel, pero di ko naaalala ano yung mga superpowers nila. So, siguro, I will not name one superhero kasi hindi ko alam kung sino yung superhero who has this power. But if I will have a superpower, I would like to have a superpower na I'll be able to read the mind and the emotions of people. Kasi, why? Because alam ko kasi na most misunderstanding, most problems nanggagaling dahil nami-misinterpret natin yung tao. And sometimes, iba yung basa natin, iba din naman pala yung iniisip nila at saka yung nararamdaman nila. So, I believe life would be easier if we will have the superpower to be able to read minds and to read the emotions of people.
Oh wow, that's true. And I couldn't agree more kasi maraming misunderstanding like you said
Yes.
na actually hindi naman pala yun yung ibig niyang sabihin, di ba?
Even with our personal relationships, right? Like friends or spouse or with our children.
That's true.
Most of the communication gap talaga is not being able to read directly and thoroughly kung ano yung iniisip at saan nanggagaling yung tao.
Yes. And a lot of us have different backgrounds and different
Yes, true.
experiences and marami dun tayo humuhugot, di ba?
Totoo.
So,
Parang we're just actually reacting to our own experiences, hindi to the person.
That's true. That's true. Kaya it's really a different point of view or a vantage point. Like there was a movie we saw, the vantage point. So talagang you need to look at it from a different point of view, not only yours. So I love it, Mikki. But you have a favorite quote. What is it?
Yeah, people can actually see it sa Facebook profile ko. Yun yung nilalagay ko sa Facebook profile ko. It's very simple. 3 words lang siya, Cristel. And the quote is, "Courage, dear heart." It's actually from, if I am not mistaken, it's from the movie Chronicles of Narnia. It was actually Aslan, the lion, who said it. Nasabi niya, "Courage, dear heart." And parang why is that my life quote? Basically because parang in my 45 years of journey in this life, ang dami ko ng taong na-meet and nakasama sa trabaho or parang sojourner lang sa buhay.
Mhm.
Many are smart, many are magaling, no? But eventually nakikita ko yung mga taong merong results and those people who are sa tingin ko successful are those people who are not really brilliant in terms of their intellectual capacity, but those people who persevered. So those are the people who are really courageous. And if favorite chapter ko din kasi sa Bible yung the book of, sino ba yung young leader? Is it Joshua? It's Joshua,
Mhm.
right? So I think it's ilang beses din sinabi ni God sa Joshua chapter 1. Parang be strong and courageous, do not be discouraged. I am with you. Parang may phrase na ganun. And yun yung pabalik-balik na sinasabi ni God to Joshua, who was a young leader at that time. Walang iba, yun lang talaga, na be strong and courageous. So even up until now, nakikita ko successful people are those people who are not, hindi yung mga super matalino, super brilliant, but really people who persevered, people who endured
Mhm.
trials and difficulties, and people who are courageous enough parang kung bumagsak man, babangon again. Kung nasaktan man, they will try to heal themselves and live life again.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And it's really true. In life, we always fail. And there are times like there are people who, when they fail, they just stay there where they are and are afraid to stand up
We
and
get
try
stuck.
again and get stuck. But actually, when we fail, we learn so many things through
It's
our
true.
failure. And
It's
that's
true.
why John Maxwell says, fail forward. You need
Yeah.
to fail over and over again because it's through the failures that we learn so many things, and
Yes.
we we go higher and higher, and then we achieve our dreams,
It's
our
true.
desires, our, well, whatever we want in our lives, we achieve them because we fail forward. And even Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times, diba?
Grabe, no? Grabe.
So if he can fail 1,000 times, why can't we? Let's just fail over and over again and
Oo.
anticipate failure, and then celebrate every time we
Sa-
achieve something.
Sabi nga nila parang failure is not actually, it's not a mistake eh. Parang it's a step. Kaya sabi nga ni John Maxwell, yun, fail forward. Parang it's a step towards success. Tapos,
Right.
okay lang din naman actually, I believe, Cristela, parang okay lang naman na pag when you fail, parang you get discouraged for a while, or when you get hurt, parang pwedeng i-feel mo yung kung ano yung nararamdaman mo at the moment. It's okay to be authentic to what we feel.
Correct.
Parang
Yes.
ang mahirap lang doon, or what gets us stuck is kung tinatambayan natin yung
Yes.
emotion na yun, no? Parang kung
It's
one day I decide to stay at home and just really feel, sorry, just feel kung ano yung experience ko, okay lang yun. Pero kung aabot siya ng 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, na parang I will still stay at home at wala akong gagawin,
right.
yun yung point that people get stuck because
Mhm.
tinatambayan nila kung ano yung sitwasyon nila.
It's true. And it's okay because everybody goes through failure, hindi ba?
Yes,
So,
yes.
but it's the decision that we make after that failure. How do we stand up? How do we bring ourselves up back again? And how do we
Exactly.
ask for help? Because most of the time we need to ask for help so
That's the
that we're
most
not going to
important part.
stay. Yes.
No? Na parang when you feel na hindi ko na kaya, parang I need help. Parang sabi ko nga, I had a conversation with my daughter, I think just a day ago, na sabi ko sa kanya, when you don't feel good, that's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
when you feel that you need help, it's not actually parang sabi nga ni Brené Brown, parang vulnerability is the greatest form of strength or courage
Mm-hmm.
ata. Kasi
Yeah,
sinasabi ko na it's okay to seek for help, it's okay to ask for support kung hindi mo talaga kaya.
right. That's true.
Doesn't
It's
mean
true.
you're weak.
Yes. It doesn't mean you're weak when you ask for help. It's actually
Yes.
very courageous when you ask for
Yeah.
help.
Ano
But I
pala,
think,
sorry Crystal, ang ano pala ni Brené Brown is vulnerability is the greatest act of courage. Parang doing it even if you're scared, doing it even if you don't feel like it, doing it even if parang you don't feel confident enough.
yes, that's true. And from one of my mentors said, do it afraid.
I like that.
Di ba?
Yes.
Do it
Oh,
afraid. And sometimes there's also this, even Bob Proctor says, fake it till you make it. So,
that's true.
because every time well, you need to do an affirmation every day. Then,
Mm,
most of the time, the affirmations that we tell ourselves, we don't believe them. Because, di ba,
yes.
yung I
Yes.
am beautiful, huh? Pero sabi naman nila, hindi naman talaga. Or I am wonderful, wonderfully made in God's image. Pero talaga ba? Parang ganon. But
Yes.
every time you say it just takes practice, and then you will really acknowledge, oh yes, I am beautiful. I am
Yes.
wonderfully made in God's image. Kasi every time you tell yourself that, then sinasabi mo talaga sa sarili mo. And sabi nga ni Bob Proctor, those pathological liars believe their lies because that's what they tell themselves over and over again. So
Oh,
kung sila ginagawa yun, why can't we tell ourselves positive things about ourselves, about
yeah.
our future, over
True.
and over again, so that we believe that we have this wonderful future ahead of us, diba?
That's true.
So, yung fake it till you make it, it's actually true. So, but
Yes.
we need to do it in a good way. Affirmations na lang
Yeah.
natin pasabihin.
Sabi
So,
nga din nila, Crystal, parang meron sinasabi nila na parang success or parang meron siyang malaking component yung body, and then mind, and then at the same time words. So, like halimbawa, on my case, it's my personal experience lang. Pag halimbawa sabihin ko na I am great or I am awesome, but then parang inside I don't really feel it.
mhm,
Um, Kasi hindi mo rin siya pwedeng acknowledge na parang yes, I said the words, but then emotionally hindi ko siya nararamdaman. So what I do pag ganun, I move my body. No, so parang I will
mm,
do something that I will feel great about. Like for
oh,
example,
yes.
I will exercise, I will take a deep
Mhm,
breath. Sometimes pag mahirap na talaga, I will meditate. So just
right.
parang grounding myself. Parang just really doing something or having some highlights sa araw ko. Like having
Mhm.
three highlights, eto gagawin ko. Parang I'll be very intentional to do something na alam ko afterwards I will feel good about, na mag-a-affirm dun sa words na binitawan ko.
Wow. Yes. Be very intentional. That's
Yes.
true. We need to be intentional in everything that we do, because life is about being intentional in everything that you do,
Oh, yeah.
putting things into order. Kasi you
Yeah.
don't achieve things if you're not intentional. Hindi ka
Intentional.
mananalo ng
Totoo
loto,
yan.
'di ba? If you don't buy a ticket, you will
Totoo
not be
yan.
a millionaire if you just stay there in your couch.
This FB Live will not happen if we were not intentional in parang setting a schedule and then showing up.
Right, it's true. And being financially free, most importantly, will
Yes.
not happen if you don't learn about finances,
Totoo yan.
how to put aside your money, and how to invest your money. So that's
Yes.
why we have Mikki here today with us. So, Mikki, sa lahat-lahat ng mga pinagdaanan mo, you were a director before, you were a corporate leader. Why do you do what you do now? What is your biggest why?
Um, I think parang the question ng what is your biggest why or what is your purpose before, parang it took me a while to realize and to get to a juncture, Cristel, na life by itself should be my greatest why. Kasi parang I have friends, I have batchmates na nagsasabi na up until now, hindi ko pa talaga alam ano yung calling ko. Up until now, hindi ko pa talaga alam ano yung purpose ko. But then, ako parang if I were to simplify it, just the fact na I am alive and I am
Mhm.
brought into this world, parang that should be enough. That should be enough biggest why for me na parang I'm sure I am brought here for a purpose. Hindi ko man alam kung ano yung gagawin ko for the next 5, 10 years. But alam ko na on a day-to-day basis, I need to live my life to the fullest because it's a gift that has been entrusted to me and that has been given to me. And that by itself should be my greatest why. Pero
Wow.
maraming mga sub-whys yun eh. Pero I think
Right.
life by itself should be our biggest why.
Yes. One of my guests here in the Crystal Clear show said one time, you need to know your why, and then you need to know your why under that why. Katulad ng
Yes.
sinabi mo, di ba?
Totoo
Dig
yan,
deeper
totoo
and
yan.
dig deeper every time. Kasi, okay, for me, yung biggest why ko before we started our business is para makapag-spend ako ng time with my children. Kasi,
Mhm.
I mentioned you before when we met, my parents were OFWs.
Yes,
And
I like that
so
story.
we were left behind in the Philippines in the care of our grandparents while our parents were taking care of other kids here abroad.
Yes,
Diba? And that's so ironic because they have to leave us behind to take care of other children. But that's my biggest why. I don't want my children to feel abandoned or to feel left out. Bakit why
that's
did
true.
my mom have to go to work every day? We only spend 1 hour a day maximum kasi super busy siya. So we really had to be intentional also.
Yes.
So but
Big,
then I also struggled like what you said, ano nga ba yung purpose ko dito sa mundo? Ito na lang ba talaga yung gagawin ko habang buhay? Because there is a purpose for
yeah,
everyone. And lately, I have been hearing this. Our purpose is to serve others.
yeah, that's true.
So, di
That's true.
ba?
Oh,
Like what you said, we need to live our life to the fullest. And
yeah.
God has a purpose for us. But our purpose mainly is to help others here in this world, di
I
ba?
believe that. Kasi, di ba, we're given different roles. So, for example,
Mm.
and different gifts. So, for example, if I'm blessed with a good voice, gagamitin ko yan. And in a way, by singing songs and parang sharing it to people, parang I am serving people. And
Yeah.
then, like, this one, this platform, if we're parang given the chance to be able to, parang we have the gift to talk or to share our thoughts, that by itself is serving. Being a mother is in a way, it's serving. Being a sister or a brother, that by itself is serving. So parang, ang daming purpose talaga. Parang, kasi nasabi ko, Cristel, na yes, it's so nice to have the biggest why because it's really true. Kailangan din nating malaman yun. But ako, when I get stuck to the overthinking of what's my biggest why, what's my purpose in this world,
Mhm.
to such extent na napapabayaan ko kung ano yung responsibilidad ko on a day-to-day basis. Parang yun
Mhm.
lang, yun pwede ko nang balikan eh. Kasi parang by just doing those small roles that has been entrusted to me for the moment, I'm sure it will lead me to my biggest why. Kung if in case lang hindi pa talaga alam kung ano yung biggest why ng tao,
Yes.
we need to become good stewards of whatever it is that we have right now so that it will lead us to a bigger why or to a bigger purpose.
Exactly. Going back to what you said, yung talent, singing. I am not a good singer at all. Talagang off-key, kahit anong gawin ko. But I realized na iba yung talent na binigay sa akin ni Lord. It's talking.
Wow.
Having being able to talk here in this platform in Facebook and in YouTube is one of my talents to really be able to reach out na walang hiya-hiya. Okay, can I ask you, can you be my guest? But it's apparently a talent, and now I have really embraced this talent because I enjoy doing this. So
Yes.
whatever you enjoy doing na hindi burden sa'yo. That's
Yeah.
actually your purpose here in life, to be able to
Yes.
give your talent and your gifts to share to others, like what Mikki said. So,
Yeah.
Mikki, we spoke about failures earlier.
Yes.
Um, what's the most important lesson that you've learned in your life, and how has failure shaped your life?
Important lesson that I've learned and how has failure shaped my life. I believe, Christelle, it shaped me in a tremendous way. Kasi parang with failures, kasi there were lessons along with it eh. And even with some failures, it was actually God's redirection.
Mm,
Parang kung before nire-resist ko yung failure, or when an opportunity closes, parang i-resist ko talaga or gagawin ko kung ano yung gusto ko, which is actually okay naman. But then I got to a point also na parang sige nga, parang eto naman, this failure or this closed door, this is not part of my plan. So parang binibigyan ko ng space for God to intervene. Parang tinitingnan ko nga, sige, what's your plan, Lord? Parang ano
mm,
kaya or saan mo kaya ako dadalhin? Kasi eto yung plano ko eh. And then eventually parang along the way parang pwedeng ma-stop siya or pwedeng ma-delay siya. So with those sa mga delays na yon or sa mga no na yon or closed doors na yon, dun ko tinitingnan kung ano kaya ang plano sa akin ng higher power ko, ng
mm,
Panginoon ko. So doon ko
mm,
tinitingnan. So that's how failure shaped me, Cristel, na there were some failures that were very painful, basically
mm,
because I invested time, money, effort, energy on it. But then eventually, with those failures also, maraming mensahe na dala yun eh. Na
mm,
if I will just open my heart and my mind na okay, parang eto yung gusto ko, eto yung dumating, ano kayang meron dito?
mm,
But a person will fail to see the message behind the failure kung ipupush at ipupush mo talaga kung ano yung gusto mo. Which is, sabi ko nga, hindi naman siya masama, but also
mm,
take time to pause and see kung bakit kaya to nangyayari? Why is this happening to me? What's the message behind this? Could
mhm.
this be God's redirection or could this be God's intervention?
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Could this be God's redirection or intervention? Kasi
Mm.
that's really beautiful. Most of the time, parang inaano na, God, is it, bakit lahat mali? Parang ganon, di ba? But if we see it that way, it's God's redirection and God's intervention. We see, oh, thank you, God. And when we are grateful, so many beautiful things come, and we see God's hands really directing us. Okay, it's actually not that door, but this door is
Yes.
open for you. Bakit
Opo.
ka ba nagtsatsaga dyan? Bakit mo pinipilit na yung door na yan?
Yes.
Pero this is much more better for you. This is what my plans are for you.
Exactly.
And if a door is closed, and God will open a window, hindi ba? So
Yes. Totoo yan. And
it's
you'll be
so,
amazed kung na
yes,
sometimes the window that God will open for you, parang hindi mo in-expect na ito lang yung gusto ko eh. Pero yung
right.
ino-open sa akin, ganito pala kalaki. And
Right.
yet it was presented in a way na problema siya or in a way
Mm,
na parang closed opportunity siya.
it's true. It's true. So, do you have three best practices, Mickey, that we can apply on our daily um, routine? That can be our daily routine to be successful, especially in financial, as you are a financial coach. And is there something very simple? I know there are so many simple things, but parang we are bombarded with so many information
Yes.
from the internet. Yung mabilis nating maiisip, oh, okay, I will do this three simple things kasi sabi ni Mickey, I can be financially free if I do this three simple steps. And what are those?
Siguro on a day-to-day basis, like yung practices lang, Cristel, I'm not saying that I'm able to do this perfectly on a day-to-day basis, but I try as much as possible na nagagawa ko siya on a day-to-day basis. And when I get derailed also, parang alam ko na ito lang yung babalikan ko para I can get back to the right track. So, number one is when I wake up, parang I try to as much as possible feed my soul first. So kasama dyan yung prayer, meditation, yung mga anything that parang that will nurture or parang yung wellness ko lang will stay balanced. So I make sure that I pray, I make sure that I as much as possible parang simple breathing lang, being aware of your inhale and exhale is actually that by itself is meditation. Eh. Sabi nga nila, parang breathing by itself is actually a form of prayer because it connects us God to God. Kasi di ba when God created us, ano bang ginawa niya? Parang He uses parang He used words, di ba? Parang then there shall be light, ganyan. So, and then yung sa tao, correct mo ako, Cristela, kasi hindi talaga ako Bible, I think sa tao, parang, hindi ba siya, nag-breathe ba siya? Parang, or parang meron atang ganun. So, parang, in a way, when you do breathing, when you do inhale, exhale, it's actually going back to your core. So, minsan, akala lang natin, parang it's another level of spirituality. But actually, it's really grounding ourselves and connecting ourselves to God when we just do that. And then, yun, kasi alam ko yun, hindi ko ma-explain in terms of science, but alam ko that worked for me. Grounding myself, parang grounding is actually connecting yourself to the source also eh. So that, hindi ako maglalakad na parang hindi ko alam kung saan ako, hindi ako stable. Parang it's actually establishing my core also. So whatever it is na ibabato sa akin, sa araw na yon, I know na hindi ako madaling matumba because I am grounded to my source. And then, ito very practical lang kasi I always teach this to my team kasi sometimes nag-over plan or nag-overthink tayo. Sinasabi ko lang all the time, have 3 highlights sa araw mo. And then, make sure, commit na whatever it is that will happen, you will do it regardless. So, di ba sa mga to-do list natin, minsan meron tayong 10, meron 20 kung busy talaga. Ang sinasabi ko lang, highlight the 3. Na sa tingin mo, etong the rest, pwede kong i-compromise, pwede kong i-let go. But etong top 3 na to, I will make sure na matatapos yung araw na magawa ko. And those top 3, Crystal, especially when I don't feel good, kasi it's not all the time that I feel motivated. Eh. No, it's not kung i-base ko lang on ano yung feeling ko for the day. Alam ko hindi ko magagawa. But if I will have the 3 highlights, alam ko na whether I feel lazy or I feel parang hardworking or whether I feel good or not, gagawin at gagawin ko to. So pwede it can be a personal highlight, a family highlight, it can be a spiritual, it can be something sa career mo. So like halimbawa, isusulat ko, number 1 highlight ko for the day, I will have one-on-one coaching session with this financial planner. So, kahit yung iba, I will say no to it. Second highlight ko for the day, I'll make sure na, kasi common nawawala ako sa focus na pagkasama ko yung anak ko. I will give her my 100% focus and attention. And most of the time, I fail on that. Kasi either nasa phone ako or marami akong iniisip. So, hindi lang sabi ko nga, I had a conversation with my daughter, but right now, I'm really trying to be intentional. Kahit 10 minutes, 20 minutes lang yan. Kasi especially with teenagers, they don't actually demand a lot of your time eh. Parang 10 minutes or 15 minutes lang na magkwento at nandun ka lang. Parang enough na yun. So, ang nangyayari sa akin minsan, I am there physically, but mentally, and emotionally, hindi ako present. So, tinatry ko rin isulat yan as simple as that. Tapos, pwedeng third is make sure na personal, meron din akong gagawin para sa sarili ko. So, just 3 highlights. Para movie highlights lang.
Right. That's true. And the last one is?
The last one is, grounding, and yun have 3 highlights. The last one is, at the end of the day, you try to review kung ano yung meron ka 3 highlights eh. So, ano yung nagawa mo What are you? And then I try to assess what am I most proud of about myself, and how can I do better tomorrow. So
Mm.
meron ako mga gabi na parang, shucks, parang pumalya ako dito. But I'll try to be better or do better tomorrow. Kasi kung wala yung parang naglalakad ka, Cristel, na parang halimbawa my direction is papuntang, let's just say papuntang Davao. No,
Yes.
so lakad lang ako ng lakad. Kung wala akong chance to look back, hindi ko malalaman if tama yung rota na tinake ko. So it's important also to pause and then to look back and to review kung ano yung nagawa mo, what's good about it, and how you can do better. Mahirap mag-correct mahirap mag-correct pag walang pause at walang looking back on your day.
It's true. Totoo yan. So, I love this because napakasimple lang nila, and it's very easy to
Very easy. At
talagang to
hindi ko yan
implement
nagagawa
every day.
perfectly, ah. Parang there are days na shocks, wala na. Pero
Mm.
nababalikan ko. Alam ko na
Yes.
parang, hindi na tulad before na if I don't feel good, parang ano bang gagawin ko just to feel better. Parang alam ko na, okay, balik ako bukas. Ganito na naman.
So, those three things are when you wake up, feed your soul.
Yes.
So, prayer, go back to your core, go to basics. Talagang prayer is,
Mm.
or, and we always go to prayer, di ba? Talaga namang,
Yeah.
when we need to be grateful every time we wake up. Thank you, Lord, for this new
So,
day,
yeah.
for the opportunities that you're going to give me. And just pause for a while because life is a gift, and
Yeah.
it's a gift from God. And the number two is highlight three things that
Yes.
you want to do in your day. I remember again another message from John Maxwell, the Pareto principle. Itinuturo niya yung
Yes. 80-20.
20, yes, the 80-20, di ba? The 20%
Yun.
of what you do during the day, ayun talaga
20%.
yung nagbibigay sa'yo ng 80% na results. So,
Totoo yan.
be simple. Simplify things. Bakit ba natin
Totoo.
kino-complicate, di ba?
Alam mo,
We,
Cristel, sorry, go
yes.
ahead. Sorry to
No,
cut
no,
you.
go ahead.
Nakat ko yung host.
It's why.
Sabi
Yes.
ko, even sa team, parang I've been managing a team for a long time. Yung Pareto principle, it's really effective. Na parang nire-review ko kasi di ba tinitingnan mo yung science ng Pareto principle. So,
Yes.
like halimbawa, in my team, tinitingnan ko, ito yung nagpo-produce sa akin every month on month yan. Tapos so,
Mhm.
titingnan ko, for example lang, I have a total of 20 agents.
Mhm.
And then, kukunin ko yung percentage ng mga benta nila. Always yan na, nasa 10 to 15 to 20% lang ng tao ko ang nagde-deliver ng 80% of my sales. So, that way, nasisimplify ko rin yung activities ko. So, for example, the 20% na nagbibigay ng 80% ng sales, yun yung wina one-on-one ko.
Mhm.
I also spend parang 20% of my time with them. The
Mhm.
rest, halimbawa, the 80% na parang average lang yung binibigay, yun yung parang nagsiset up ako ng weekly meeting or every other week meeting. So, lahat sila ginagather ko on a group meeting. But I will always have one-on-one meetings with the 20% that brings the 80% of my sales. So,
Mhm.
simplified. Hindi ako ngarag, hindi ako maraming activities kasi focus din yung mga tao na I spend time with.
Right. It's true. Kasi if you try to spend time with all of them, mapapagod ka talaga.
Totoo.
Di
Hindi mo
ba?
rin magagawa, hindi mo masustain.
Yes, yes.
Or
And
pwede din, Chris, na magawa mo, pag uwi mo, yung pamilya mo, yun yung nako-compromise mo.
totoo, totoo. And yung sa lahat ng mga tao na yun, hindi naman nila na-acknowledge, diba, yung
Yes.
whatever you're telling them. So talagang, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay na i-focus mo yung time mo dun sa mga taong nakikinig sa'yo.
Yes.
And the last that you mentioned is at the end of the day, we need to review and assess the day. Talagang napakaganda nun because balik ulit tayo on being grateful then. What happened
Mm.
today? We need to be grateful in what happened this date, then we assess things. How can I better myself? How can I better my team?
Yes.
The following day or the following weeks. Kasi talagang importante to pause again at the end of the day and look back and review because
Then
the
kung happy ka ba? 'Di ba? Parang
yeah,
happy ba ako? Is this spark ba siya ng joy, 'tong mga activities na ginagawa ko? Kasi parang, how old are you, Crystal, if you don't mind me asking?
40.
Ako din, I'm 45 years old. Parang I
Yes.
have friends or I know people na they reach 40, 45 only to realize na they're very successful materially,
Mm.
professionally, but then yung parang inner na joy wala. So, 'di ba kasi pag
Mm.
wala yung pause
Yes.
and assess and review,
Totoo.
parang aabot ka na lang ng 40, 45, tsaka mo palang marirealize na parang successful na naman ako sa mata ng tao or outwardly, but how come I don't feel happy or I don't feel any
Yes.
joy inside?
Yes, that's true. Actually, I experienced that nung wala akong peace.
Mhm.
I was depressed for a long time. Kasi nga hindi ko alam yung purpose ko. Parang
Purpose.
ito lang ba? Ito lang ba ako? Hanggang dito lang ba ako? But
Mm.
when I learned talaga that life is about giving and about loving
Serving.
others, serving people, parang yun pala yun. Kaya pala,
Yun lang,
'di
no?
ba? 'Di ba? Kaya pala ako unhappy kasi sarili ko lang ng sarili. Pero bakit unhappy pa rin ako, 'di ba?
Totoo.
Because if you give, yung isang neuroscientist, sinasabi niya, when the happiest people are those who give more. Kaya nakakatuwa nga when we were listening to that, I think Dr. Leaf yung pangalan niya. Um, Sabi niya yung brain cells daw natin korteng ano siya, korteng trees. So para siyang oo. So kapag when you are giving, talagang yung brain cells mo nagke-create pa siya ng mga mas marami pang branches. So,
Wow.
yes, kaya super interesting nung napakinggan namin yun. Kaya yung mga kapatid ko, kaya pala si John, my husband, kaya pala siya ganon. Sabi niya ganon, kaya pala siya hindi mukhang tumatanda because he's always giving.
Yes. Totoo
And
yan.
totoo, di ba?
Alam mo ba,
When
sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, sure.
Na the word retirement is not actually, hindi mo siya makikita sa Bible. And I
mm,
think, sa tingin ko lang, this is just my opinion, I think basically because hindi talaga natatapos yung purpose mo eh. So, pwedeng mag-retire ka sa trabaho mo, but even after that, meron pa rin another purpose na kailangan mong gagawin mo until the day that you will cross over.
right.
Diba?
It's
So parang,
true.
and then if you notice, parang those people na once they retire at wala silang ginagawa, ang bilis lang nila mawala. Parang ang bilis lang yung pag-pass away. But those
Mm,
people who are productive, kahit
mm,
nag-retire na sa trabaho nila, parang ang tagal na tumatanda, napoprolong
mm.
yung buhay, tapos full of life din sila.
Indeed, indeed. Actually, one of my mentors, si Bob Proctor, he died 2 years ago now. And he died at 86. So, sa kanya,
86.
yes, for him, ano siya, he says, learning is necessary. Parang, if you stop learning, you start to die. So, kaya
That's
sabi niya, you need to learn every day. Kaya, every day meron siyang binabasa because even though nabasa na niya before yung mga books na binabasa niya, he says you continuously learn new things dun sa nabasa mo. Maybe no
totoo
first
yan.
time mo nabasa, hindi
Totoo
naman
yan.
yun yung kailangan mong message. So
Totoo,
ngayon
may
binabasa mo ulit,
mag-illuminate na bagong message
di
each
ba?
time. Kahit same book yan. Na-notice ko
Yes.
din yan.
Mm. So
Yun.
talagang sabi niya, if you stop learning, you start to die. And it's true, katulad ng sinabi mo, yung mga nagre-retire, kaya maraming nagre-retire na narinig din ako recently na namatay na kagad. Parang
Oo.
kare-retire lang nila, namatay na sila. Parang ang tagal-tagal nilang inantay yung retirement nila
Totoo.
for para a couple of months later mamatay sila because parang ayun na yung highlight ng buhay nila. But if you have dreams, bigger vision para sa buhay mo, walang katapusan. So
Walang
you need
katapusan.
to
Totoo
work
yan.
And
Di ba
give more. Di
parang
ba?
employment is not the end of it eh. Kasi parang it's just one summit na na-reach mo yung peak. And then you will again climb another mountain to parang until you
Yes.
reach the summit. Until talaga the time will come na parang siguro na-fulfill mo na talaga lahat ng kailangan mong gawin in this life. And that's
Yes.
the time that you will depart or you will cross over.
Yes. Totoo. Kaya aim high.
So, no?
Aim. Kasi talagang if you stop learning, if you parang mamamatay ka na kagad, ayoko naman nun. Di ba? Parang I want to live life talagang to the fullest, like you said earlier. And but how can we live life to the fullest? Is
Totoo.
it by shopping? Eh, hindi din naman eh. Kasi we have done that and we have, you and I, we have traveled. Parang, okay, narating ko yun. Pero, is it
Oo.
enough? Diba? Parang,
Pagkatapos parang, so what's next? Parang, diba,
yes.
after one, like halimbawa, I bought this clothing, tapos
Mm-hmm.
minsan pag-isipan, merong iba impulsive, meron ding iba pag-iisipan. So like ako, if I want something, especially if medyo pricey, parang pag-iisipan ko yan, or minsan parang lilibot-libot muna ako sa mall until baka
Yes.
merong mas mura, merong mas maganda. Pero kung gustong-gusto ko na talaga, parang I'll delay it for a few days. Pero pag binili ko, parang natapos din yung parang yung craving mo for it. And then you will want again another top.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not stop. Hindi talaga siya natatapos. Hindi
No.
ka mabubusog actually.
Indeed, indeed. Pero if you start serving and helping, iba yung joy na naibibigay, hindi ba? Ibang-iba because talagang iba yung fulfillment. Iba
Sense of
yung,
fulfillment. Yes.
yes,
So,
yes. So, eto, we're already in the end of our show.
wow,
Grabe, nakakatuwa ang bilis because we
totoo.
enjoyed sharing.
Parang
So,
nag-uusap lang, no?
diba? Yes. So there's one last thing that I ask. If you have this crystal clear gem na one thing that you would like to impart our viewers, ano yun?
Crystal clear gem na gusto kong i-impart sa viewers natin, ano yun? Um, parang siguro, if there's one, it's really parang embrace life.
Wow.
No, na parang, kasi kahit ano man yung dumating, if you will just embrace it and if you will really try your very best to live life to the fullest, parang it's actually your sense, it gives you a sense of fulfillment eh. So,
Mm-hmm.
pag halimbawa, if I'll stop kasi, or if I will retreat, or pag halimbawa mahirap, hindi ko nagagawin, parang walang growth na nangyayari doon. And if there's no growth, parang there's really no, parang yung capacity mo also to serve, parang nalilesen. Kaya
Mm-hmm.
sinasabi palagi, siguro eto na lang, just to simplify it, do not be scared to get out of your comfort zone. Palagi ko tong sinishare
Right.
sa mga speaking engagement ko. Kasi parang your comfort zone is actually, sa tingin ko lang kasi, it's actually like a prison. Kasi parang
Mm-hmm.
yung comfort zone is kung saan yung parang you will just settle for less kasi ayaw mong mahirapan. Yung comfort zone is you will just be contented even if hindi enough. Yung comfort zone is you will just settle for on relationships sa kahit hindi ka na happy or relationships na let's say abusive, no? So
Mm-hmm.
lahat ng predictable at minsan comfortable nasa comfort zone mo. So akala mo lang yun yung buhay na gusto natin kasi predictable lahat. So minsan
Right.
kahit hindi ka masaya, basta predictable lang para alam mo lang kung ano mangyayari, parang you will settle for it eh. But
Right.
ang mahirap lang kasi na part in crossing your comfort zone is yung first step lang. Di ba parang pag nag-exercise tayo, na parang yung first few weeks or yung first week mo, yun lang yung pinakamahirap. But once you take that leap, once you
Mm-hmm.
get out of
Right.
that circle, dun mo makikita na parang, meron pa palang bigger world to sa
Yes.
mundo na parang where I used to be. Meron pa palang better friends. Meron pa palang better opportunities. meron pa palang better organizations. Pero hindi mo makikita yun kung you will just be stuck to the small world where you're in.
Right.
So yun, parang balik din tayo sa courage, dear heart. Parang let's continue to be courageous and let's continue to live life.
Wow, I love it. Courage, dear heart. It's indeed a beautiful, beautiful quote because everything we do, we need courage.
Totoo.
Diba? There's always fear of something.
Ay, oo yan.
Very recently, I was sharing my son. I have a fear of heights. Lalo na even the
Para tayo.
escalator. I
Oh,
have this fear that I will fall behind. I will fall. I will tumble
talaga.
backwards. Oo.
Grabe.
So, even though kahit mababa lang, and lalo na pag mataas na mataas, I really get stuck. As in, I need to hold on both rails, and I feel like I'm going to be pushed, and then I will roll down behind. Even though,
Grabe.
never naman nangyari yun, di ba? But that fear is caused by something I witnessed when I was young. Somebody
Trauma.
fell, yes, somebody fell on the stairs. Talagang umiikot
Grabe.
siya.
Mm.
So that's why we need to understand also our past.
Mm.
Maybe we need to forgive whatever or whoever hurt us and embrace the life that we have now,
Yeah.
and really get out of that comfort zone that you're saying, because if we are just going to stay in there stuck, fearful, we
True.
will not grow and we will not be able to
Yeah.
spread our wings and help others more, because a
Yeah.
lot of people who might be needing us won't be helped because you didn't go out of that comfort zone.
That's
And
true.
so I encourage everyone who are watching us today, like what
Yes.
Mikki said, get out of your comfort zone, because you
Totoo
don't
yan.
know. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know who you will be able to impact if you get out of that comfort zone,
Exactly.
di ba?
Exactly. Kahapon nga, Cristel, I drove a friend to the airport. We moved to Manila August, September, October. Parang mga 4 months pa lang ako dito.
Mhm.
Pero naiintindihan ko yun. Kaya I am also not, hindi ko ginagawang maliit yung struggles ng iba because I know na hindi rin mahirap talaga for many people. So, when I moved here, para kasi pag nasa mga late 30s or early 40s ka na, parang yung adjustment mas mahirap. Minsan you get more
Mhm.
scared, parang ayaw mo na magkamali because you feel like you only have few years left, no? So,
Mhm.
with the first time I moved here, alam ko na kailangan kong practicein yung pagdadrive. Ang dali-dali lang mag-drive sa probinsya. Ang
Yeah.
hirap-hirap mag-drive sa parang in a big city like Metro Manila. Tapos ilang beses akong nawala, ilang beses ako ma-frustrate, gagamit ako ng Waze, mawawala pa rin ako. Minsan mag-aaway na kami ng anak ko kasi parang kahit anong gawin ko, mawawala pa rin ako. But in on those times na nawala ako, on those times na nagkamali ako, it is during those times na naaalala ko na, okay, so eto pala, hindi na ako dadaan dito. So, kailangan ko tong tandaan. No? So, and there
Right.
are also some people na sabihin sa akin, you need to, kailangan mong, wag ka mag-waste or hindi na kita sasabihan kung saan ka dadaan so that kailangan mong ma-learn on your own. So, kahapon parang
Mhm.
parang I drove a friend to sa airport. Tapos pag uwi ko, super traffic. Parang alam ko na on a normal day, pwede ako magreklamo na grabe talaga, super traffic. It took me 2 hours and a half to para umuwi. But
Wow.
then, ang nag-cross kasi sa mind ko is the idea na grabe, parang 4 months ago, it was such a struggle for me to drive around Metro Manila. To such extent
Mhm.
na even yung self-esteem mo gets affected. Kasi parang,
Mhm.
grabe, kahit yung to take yourself from one place, from point A to point B, very challenging yun. How much more yung kailangan
Mhm.
parang you engage yourself in a bigger space, no?
Right.
But then pag uwi ko kagabi, parang I was thanking God na thank you Lord kasi 4 months ago, hirap na hirap ako na gawin to. But
Mhm.
right now, parang hindi ko naman sinasabi na 1 out of 10 10 na. Siguro from 1 out of 10 kung before nasa 3, ngayon parang nasa 7 na. So yung
Wow.
level of confidence, so yung feeling good also na parang
Yes.
nagawa ko to. Pero so as
Yes.
simple as that, ladies and gentlemen, parang you can take pride on that thing. Doesn't need to be parang grand naman talaga yung mga
Mhm.
victories. Parang small victories like that can also
Right.
make us feel good about ourselves. And that to me is a classic example of getting out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Yes, definitely. That's getting out of your comfort zone. Kasi when I was well, when I was learning how to drive, I would say, kung kaya nila, kaya ko. But then, not in the Philippines because
Oo,
catastrophe, di ba? But then they say,
kainin ka
mga
talaga.
Filipino drivers are one of the best drivers. Kasi nga,
Wow.
we are very magaling magtansya. And I am so proud of myself kasi nakapag-drive na rin ako sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
And after driving in the Philippines, dito, parang peanuts na lang mag-drive dito because it's really, but not in the Manila yet. Still sa probinsya pa rin, but still, I was able to drive. So,
Yeah. Mm.
when you are able to get out of that comfort zone, katulad ng sinabi mo, and
Madali na lang. 'Di ba?
yes,
Hirap
yes,
lang at first, but kung gagawin mo again and again and again, it will get
yes,
easier in the long.
true. And then you need to celebrate as well because you need to
Yes,
pat
that's true.
yourself in the back. Yes, nakaya ko. If they can do this, I can too. And that's actually my message to our viewers. If we can do it, you can
You
too.
can do
If
it.
they can do it, we can too, don't we?
Partner
So,
with yourself. Yun lang yung parang I
mm,
remember a friend, I was talking to a friend of mine this morning. Sabi niya, partner with yourself. Kung nagkikipag-partner ka sa ibang tao, partner with yourself on your goals. Tapos sabi din niya, Cristel, I
mm,
so remember sabi niya, um, many people will say, trust the process. But sabi niya,
right.
pero ako, sasabihin ko, trust the painful process. Kasi painful talaga siya at first.
Yes, indeed. Talaga. But once you get out of that, talagang parang, ha? Kaya ko yun? Ha?
Oo. Oo.
Nandito na ako, and it's actually one step at a time. Tiny
Exactly. One
steps.
step at a time.
Tiny steps.
Ma-realize mo na parang I was just taking one small steps each time, all the time. And then
Mhm.
a year after, you will look back and you will realize, ang layo na pala nang napuntahan ko. Di ba? Ang
Right.
layo na pala, parang it was just small, simple steps na parang it all started with one simple step na ginagawa ko lang every day.
Right. It's true. Being consistent in everything that we do really helps. Talagang consistency adds yung small step, small thing.
Oo.
One of my coaches told me, yun yung 777. So if you want to exercise, if you want to lose weight, if you want to do something extraordinary, do 7 things or for 7 minutes, for 7 days, yung consistently, di ba? And
Yeah,
then you will build your habit na
galing.
para then you add in another 7 days para hindi, kasi minsan 5 years, parang ang bigat naman nun.
Totoo yan.
Tagal
Totoo.
naman nun. But for 7 days, that's doable. So
Yes.
why don't
Yes.
you do for 7 minutes, for 7 days, 7 things that you want to do to achieve your goals. So there. Ayun. Thank you so much, Mikki. I enjoyed our
Ako
conversation
din.
in Crystal Clear Show. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. And thank you for tuning in to the Crystal Clear Show. Where you are now doesn't matter where you are going, does. So remember to get crystal clear wherever you go. Goodbye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye,
Goodbye.
everyone. Thank you so much.